Okay, shalawam. First up, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kudash. Dama honor to our apostles and elders of GMS. To the elect doing the work in sincerity and in truth, shalawam. This is Nazar Khud. This is GMS Precepts. Real quick, I have a few articles here I want to get into. And really, it really touches on the time of Jacob's trouble. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Let me get what is that? Jeremiah, is it 30, I believe? Let me get that real quick. Jeremiah 30 and 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it." Now, what is it speaking about? It says, "For that day is great." Does it mean that it's great in happiness? Okay. Does it mean it's a great, nice, uh, a sunny day? Where everybody's happy? No, it's gonna go into it. Okay, it's going to be great in atrocities. It's going to be great in wickedness. It's going to be great in death. All right, you see what the Christian churches, what they don't understand is, or what they don't deal with. They don't deal with the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is not a nice time, man, and those are the days that we're approaching. If you call yourself a Christian, or if you call yourself a follower of God, and you believe in the Bible, you have to know when the Lord returns, it's not going to be a nice time, man. And that's what these churches don't stress. That's what you won't get from Christianity. You won't get the truth. Okay? You'll get fluff. You'll get fairy tales. Okay? And you'll get your money taken. All right? With them tights. Right? So it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it." Now, what's not going to be like it? Those days, man. These days that we're approaching, there's not going to be a day like it before. Okay? There was no time in history like the day. There's not there. Well, there were never a time in history like the days that we're approaching now, and there will not be days in the future like the days that we're approaching now. It's going to be, the scriptures speak about it being a dark and gloomy day. Okay, so reading on, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Now, who's the he that shall be saved out of it? The elect out of the nation of Israel, the ones that have been predestined to take part in the deliverance when the Lord returns, because there is a deliverance that's going to take place. The Lord is going to deliver and save, hence his name, Yahawashi. He is the deliverer. He is the savior. He is going to return and save a select number of people. Okay, and that's the he that it's speaking about here. It's saying, "And he shall be saved out of it." And what's the it? It's speaking about the it is that great and terrible day, referred to as what? The time. Let me highlight that. The time of Jacob's trouble. All right, now let me go to the point here, and let me go to the articles. Right, so this is the time we're approaching, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. The week. This is article theweek.com. Okay, it says, "More than half of households in four largest U.S. cities struggled financially during pandemic," poll shows. Okay, more than half of households in four largest cities have struggled financially. Now, the four largest cities in America, you can say they represent most of America. Okay, but on a larger scale, right? So let's go into it. Let's see who it affected, right? It says, "There is no question the coronavirus pandemic forced many Americans into financial hardships, but a new NPR blah 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 for survey provided a clearer picture of the extent of the struggles in the United States' four largest cities. At least half of all households in those cities," it's going to list them: 53% in New York City, 56% in LA, 50% in Chicago, 63% in Houston, reported facing serious financial problems, including depleted savings, problems paying credit card bills, and affording medical bills. Now, matter of fact, the brother, I'm on Gabar. I don't know if you'll see it. There you go. The brother Among Gabar, GMS Awakening 144 Ba. Look at this. BS programs on the earth. Homelessness and evictions are, let's see what it says, coming. Okay? Expect miracles to happen. That's right. But the point is what? There's a lot of homelessness and evictions that are going to happen, man. Why? Because you have people that are not going to be able to pay their rent. Especially in these cities right here, these major cities, and it really hit Houston really hard. 63% of Houston. Now let's see. Let's continue reading. It says it says at least half of these households in these cities, 4 major cities, reported facing serious financial problems, including depleted savings, problems paying credit card bills, and affording medical bills. So let's see where it is affected. Ooh, bam. Black and Latino households in all 4 cities were particularly vulnerable. In New York City, 62% of black households, 73% of Latino households in New York reported struggles. LA, those numbers were 52 and 71 respectively. Okay? While 69% and 63% of Latino in Chicago, I'm sorry, poll houses, let me go back. I'm sorry, I clicked that by accident. Where we at? Oh, fuck. Did it again. Excuse me. It says now in Chicago, it was 69% of black and so-called black and 63% of so-called Latinos. And most drastically in Houston, 81% of so-called black households and 77% of so-called Latino households said their financial issues were serious. So these are the people that's affected. Now, like I said, these are just the 4 major cities which is happening on a larger scale than it's happening in smaller cities. It's still happening in the smaller cities. It's just not being reported in this said poll, right? But you can say that, or it is happening in smaller cities as well. But it's just not going to be on that larger scale because there's less people, right? Interviews for the poll were conducted online via telephone July 1st through August 3rd, blah, 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 blah. So that's the end of that. But yeah, that's that article, man. So look, these are what? I just read this in Jeremiah, the time of Jacob's trouble. This brother just made a video, see, I was an hour ago, speaking about mass evictions happening, man. Mass evictions happening. So these are the times that we're approaching, man. I got a few more articles on the topic. This is thehill.com. It says U.S. budget deficit hits what? Record $3 trillion. U.S. budget. I did a video a few days ago about how America, they almost equaled their debt, almost equaled their income or their money that they brought in. It was at 98%. All right. Now, just to give you a little, just explain it a little better. An example is, let's say a person makes $1,000 a month and their bills are $1,000. Their debt to income ratio is at 100%, meaning their it's meaning 100%, meaning it's their debt is equal to their income, right? But America, I believe they're at 90%. So the money, as for 2020, for fiscal year 2020, now that means their debt almost equaled their income. It was at 98%. Okay, so if somebody made $1,000, their debt was $998. Just to make the math simple and just to put that in perspective, right? Hey man, America's financial system, economic system is depleting, man. You see households growing in debt. You got them not being able to pay medical bills, credit card bills, depleted savings. Okay, reporting serious financial issues and problems. These are just a small percentage of the population. Okay, so you have all these institutions. You got massive store closings. It's really getting bad financially for America. Okay, was I gonna read? Okay, the federal budget deficit hit an unprecedented 3 trillion in August, with another month to go before the end of the fiscal year. The figure amounts to 1.9 trillion. That figure amounts to 1.9 trillion more than the same period last year. So it was 3 million this year. Last year it was almost 2 trillion. I'm sorry, 3 million. I said it was 3 trillion this year, and we still have a month left, mind you. And last year it was almost 2 trillion. It was 1.9 trillion. So that's an extra $1 trillion added on to the deficit in 1 year. Okay, now let me just to put that in perspective. I believe this article must be another one. I thought it had a graph. I thought it had a graph. Maybe it's this one. Here it is. Is it this one? There's another article. The Fed now owns nearly 1/3 of all U.S. mortgages. Okay, and this is another article here. Okay, but the point is what, that financially America is not doing so good. Is so good, man. Down to the people, right? Where the people are reporting households are struggling. You've got states and counties and other in places around the country reporting massive evictions. Okay, you got companies closing down that's been open for years, just totally going out of business. And that's major businesses and companies. What about the mom and pop shops? Every time I drive around, I notice. I make sure I notice and see what new stores closing, man. Oh shit, that store closed. Oh shit, that uh, what's the name store used to be right there? That shit is closed. Hey man, and this could have been avoided. um, this was all because of the coronavirus. That's what spearheaded, or that's what accelerated the financial issues for America. All right, but now when I say it could have been avoided, I'm just mean, or could have been prevented, meaning it didn't have to happen. It was planned. That's what I mean by that. All right, so pretty much that's it. Lord willing, you brothers are edified. I'll make sure I put these articles in the description box. Until the next show, shalawam.